From folklore and fairies
to monsters and mysteries, it came from the Maritimes.
Hi everyone, my name is Chelsea and this is my co-host Evan.
Howdy.
We have a Maritime mini for you today. It is officially December. Evan, is your house in Christmas mode yet?
Oh, you know it is. It's been in Christmas mode for a little while now.
Excellent. Now, since winter is soon upon us, I thought this topic was very fitting. Evan, have you ever heard of a Charnel house?
Vaguely, but I don't necessarily know much about them.
Well, let's dive in. First, we'll talk about traditional Atlantic Canada funeral processes. Very happy topic for this time of year, I know.
Classic.
So, funerals are an important part of the grieving process because they're a way to say goodbye to our lost friends and relatives. Back in the day in Atlantic Canada, it was traditional for folks to lay their loved ones on a flat surface so they could wash them, dress them in their finest attire, and prepare the body for burial. So often women were put in their wedding dresses. I wonder if this is why there's so many women in white spirits.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So the body would be kept in the house for 1 to 3 days, depending on how long the preparations took or how long the coffin took to build. In the summer months, the burial was more urgent due to the heat speeding up the necessity to get the body in the ground to avoid decomposition. But in the winter, folks had more time. They would even let the stove go cold in their homes and place a tub full of ice under the body to give themselves ample time to prepare their loved ones for burial. The wait time was actually good for another reason. It allowed folks to confirm that the person was actually dead. Neighbors and relatives would take turns watching the body to keep it safe and make sure there were no unexpected movements. So a wake would be held to celebrate the life of the person, followed by the burial itself. Our Canadian winters can drag on, and the ground remains frozen for months at a time. Thick layers of snow can cover it for ages. Have you ever thought about what happens to the bodies of those who pass away in those frigid months? Especially back in the day before modern technology allowed us to use backhoes and propane ground warmers to break through frozen ground?
I guess I didn't. I think I'm thinking, and I kind of knew about this, but I think it was from an episode of Lore where they talked about a vampire that they talked about, I believe, that was that they had to bury in frozen ground.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm thinking about there. But yeah, that was the one place where I've ever thought of that.
Right. Well, this is where the Charnel houses come in. The term Charnel means burying place in Middle English, which comes from the Latin word carnalis, which means of the flesh.
Makes sense.
They were initially used in the 18th century. So it's essentially a building where human remains are stored until they can be buried. Sometimes they're used to store unidentified bones, but in colder climates, they serve a more specific purpose. They're above-ground chambers with niches in the wall to hold coffins. The ones in Canada are honestly designed to look kind of like garden sheds, but the benefit of them is they are a place outside but protected to keep the bodies cold. I studied in an anatomy lab during school, and let me tell you that no amount of embalming can keep certain smells from emanating as time goes on if the bodies are kept in a heated building. So I understand the necessity of this.
That's the thing. You don't want to keep them somewhere warm.
Nope. So the other purpose they would serve is keeping the body safe from grave robbers until the ground thawed enough to dig a grave. Ontario has the highest number of standing Charnel houses. Many of them in Ontario have an octagonal shape, but we're an Atlantic Canada podcast. So today, the reason we're talking about this is because there are 3 still standing in Newfoundland and Labrador that are still in use. Because as we know on the East Coast, it gets very cold, especially in Newfoundland and especially in Labrador.
Yeah, no kidding.
So Spade in the Grave has a database of Canadian Charnel houses on their website. And I have a few photos from the site that I will try to share on social media. I've included them here for Evan to take a look at. So do you see what I mean when I said they looked like garden sheds?
Yeah, this literally just looks like a regular shed you would see in someone's backyard.
I wouldn't look at that and think twice about it.
Like I'd say, oh, this is where someone keeps their lawnmower, or this is where someone keeps like the equipment for their boat.
Exactly.
I wouldn't expect it to be full of bodies.
Nope. If you do happen upon one of these Charnel houses, make sure you pay a moment of respect. You never know whose remains might be resting inside them at this very moment.
Wait, are they still in use?
They are.
Oh.
Yeah, the ones in Newfoundland and Labrador.
I didn't know. Jeez.
I know. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of It Came From The Maritimes. You can find us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at It Came From The Maritimes, on Blue Sky at ICFT Maritimes. If you have any Atlantic Canada folklore you would like to see covered or any spooky encounters of your own, email us at itcamefromthemaritimes@gmail.com. We are also on Patreon, so if you want some bonus content, please check us out. And if you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a 5-star rating and review to help other folks find us. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.